One of my favorite fancy go-to brunch recipes is a waffle. I love making a waffle when I want somebody to feel like they're truly being taken care of, that they are really being considered and thought of, that I am here to express my love for you. And so today I'm gonna share my tried and true best cornmeal waffle just for you. So please, do me a favor and make it for this Mother's Day and celebrate the moms in your life with this fantastic brunch recipe. If you'd like the recipe for today's video, check the description box down below. It'll be linked. If you're interested in any of the products that we're showing in today's video as well, also check the description box. Our Shop My store will be linked down there as well. And if you like this video and want to see more, hit that like and subscribe button so you never miss an upcoming video. Now, this recipe is very forgiving and it is beginner friendly, but it does involve a couple of steps. My big tip here is don't be intimidated. Read through the recipe and read through the method a couple of times. That's what I always recommend for any beginner cook. And then that way you'll feel more comfortable as you work through the steps of it. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to combine all of our dry ingredients. We have all-purpose flour, some fine ground cornmeal, as well as some sugar, salt, baking powder, and baking soda. I'm just gonna give these a quick mix with the tines of a fork just to distribute all of the leavening agents and evenly distribute our cornmeal and our flour. We're gonna set this aside. So the next step in this recipe is to combine all of the wet ingredients, but before we do that, let's talk about eggs. You're gonna separate all of your eggs from their yolks. You will be using both, so nothing is going to waste here. And then my tip, if you end up getting a little bit of shell in, say with your egg whites, use one of the shell halves to fish out the little piece of shell that you are trying to get out of your batter. You do want to make sure that your eggs are at room temperature though, so definitely make sure to pull them out of your refrigerator with ample time before you are planning to make your batter. So I'm just going to pop the egg yolks up just a little bit, and I'm just going to give them a quick little whisk with my fork here. And now to my egg yolks, I'm going to add some Greek yogurt. This is full fat plain Greek yogurt. I have some whole milk here. If you don't have whole milk, skim works, half and half works, whatever you have on hand. And I have some melted butter. And I'm just going to give this a mix again with my fork just to loosely combine all of these ingredients. Just make sure that your butter is cooled down from the melt, so that way it doesn't scramble your egg yolks. All right. I'm gonna set that aside and on to our egg whites. So now that we've combined our wet ingredients and our dry ingredients, we're actually gonna marry these two elements together before we add them to our whipped egg whites. So we're just going to combine and give it a stir and to let this come together. And my whole rule of thumb whenever making a pancake, a waffle, is I do not like to mix the batter all the way until everything is fully combined. I like to stop right before that, just so everything stays tender. Now, we will set aside the batter to chill out for about 10 minutes while we whip our egg whites. And then once that's done, we can turn the waffle iron on and get this going. There are 3 leavening agents in this waffle batter that's going to yield you a wonderfully light and fluffy waffle. 1 is in the baking soda, 2 is in the baking powder, and 3 is in your whipped egg white. So what you're looking for is for a stiff peak egg white. They'll change from being loose and velvety and very smooth to being much more firm. And when you pull your beater away from the mixture, it'll hold a firm peak. I'll show you what that is. Let's beat our egg whites. And as you can see here, the egg is holding a stiff peak right here at the very tip of our beater. And this is exactly what you're looking for, this doubled in volume, light and fluffy egg that has a slight glossiness to it. All right, the last step to bring our batter together is to add our egg whites to our batter. So what you're going to want to do is to do this in stages. You're gonna take about 1/3 of your egg white, and you'll just basically mix this right in. It's gonna deflate this egg white a little bit, but what it's going to do is it's going to start lightening the overall batter. So that way, when we add in the rest of our egg whites, the batter already has a bit of air, additional air built in, and it'll make folding our egg whites, the rest of our egg whites in much easier. I take about half of my remaining egg white and gently, you're just going to fold in the egg white. You will run your spatula around the rim of the bowl and cut it down the center very gently, very slowly, and this will help to fold that white in without losing any of that air that you worked so diligently to create. I have a stovetop waffle iron, so I've gone ahead and preheated it on a medium to low heat just to get it nice and hot. I recommend following your waffle iron's manufacturing guidelines on how to preheat your waffle iron. All of our egg whites have been incorporated, our batter is ready to go. Let's make some waffles. Depending on your preference, you can use melted butter, you could use a neutral oil. I like to use a coconut spray to spray down my iron just to make sure nothing sticks. Now that my waffle iron is ready, I'm going to ladle on my waffle batter. The number of waffles you'll yield, as well as the length of time it takes for your waffle to cook, will all depend on your waffle iron. My waffle iron is a 7-inch waffle iron and it yields me about 8 waffles for this recipe. Our waffles are ready. I've garnished them with some fresh berries, some edible flowers, because if you've been here before, you know I love a garnish. And the last final flourish, in my opinion, before syrup, is a little bit of snow from some wonderful confectioner's sugar. Got my syrup. Let's give this a try. My syrup doesn't want to pour. This is so yummy. You have a nice bit of crunch, just a little bit from the cornmeal. It's not too sweet, so if you wanted to do like a savory waffle pair, like chicken and waffles, this is perfect for that. And with those accompaniments of the fresh berries, the powdered sugar, the maple syrup, this just makes this such a wonderfully delicious dish. Really, there's nothing like a nice hot waffle on a Sunday morning to get you ready to end the weekend. Highly recommend, 10 out of 10. You should make this especially for Mother's Day. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today in my kitchen. I really hoped you enjoyed today's video. If you liked this video and want to see more, please do hit like and subscribe. Check the description box down below. The recipe will be linked there. And of course, check out our Shop My storefront for any of the products that we featured in today's video. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today in my kitchen. It's been such a blast. And until the next one, have a great rest of your day.